Edmonton has a rich history of innovation and change, from its quick expansion in comparison to other Canadian cities, to its implementation of infrastructure for different modes of transport. Today, Edmonton has a population of more than 1 million people, which is predicted to increase by as much as 60% in the next 20 years. Considering the current state of the city's infrastructure and legislation, we believe that it becomes clear some changes can and should be made in order to ensure the well-being of the citizens and economy going forwards. To fully understand the issues at play here, it is helpful to understand some key terms. As a result of increasing growth to suburbs and relatively restrictive zoning rules, many shops and businesses are forced onto busy and unsafe thoroughfares called stroads. This term was coined in 2013 by the journal Strong Towns to describe this expensive and often unpleasant phenomenon in many North American cities. These awkward combinations force drivers to slow down in case of pedestrians, create noise for the people trying to utilize these spaces, and it can deter people from visiting some of the local businesses here, since it becomes difficult to get to them without a vehicle. Impacted by stroads and other consequences of current zoning laws is the so-called third place, as described by sociologist Ray Oldenburg in the 1980s, as a space in the community where people spent their time outside of homes or work. These are now known in sociology to be an important way of building and maintaining communities, and are said to be suffering partially as a result of the COVID pandemic. These places have increasingly been taken over by larger commercialized places like big box stores, due to cities not allowing small businesses and residential buildings to coexist in suburban neighborhoods. This means that people today are increasingly separated from places where they can be social or contribute in their community. Most car accidents within the city happen in residential neighborhoods, partially because the geometry of large stroad sections in and around suburbs can encourage drivers to disregard speed limit signs and not look out for pedestrians, meaning that less road space and more space to other use cases like bike paths and outdoor seating areas for small businesses would greatly improve the safety for people living in neighborhoods like these. An area as small as a single parking space can be transformed into something like a garden that adds life to a community, so the value of making these spaces possible for communities will be much more than the road area that would be lost. As the city continues to grow, it is pertinent to increase the availability of housing and services for people while minimizing the amount of traffic and urban sprawl, which can be facilitated by a bylaw that has already been considered by the City Council, which would allow more housing projects on city lots. This bylaw will likely create a significant amount of developments with little to no investment on the city's part, since developers will be able to create housing or business spaces where they are most valuable, which would open up new opportunities for home buyers and business owners across the city. Although many more people may live in the city center when this goes into full effect, simply increasing bus service accordingly could reduce traffic from where it is now, since more people on public transit would mean less cars creating traffic on the road. While Edmonton is already ahead of other places in North America when it comes to incorporating denser zoning and affordable housing options, there is still some work to be done when it comes to incorporating mixed-use areas in its zoning. So given the potential benefits to citizens, we believe that the City of Edmonton should continue to pursue the creation of more areas for mixed-use development in the future.